everybody. You are very welcome to our next episode of our Advocacy Works podcast. I'm Siobhan Flynn and I'm here today with my co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Philip Crispy.
Hi, I'm Grace Kennedy.
Hi, I'm Claire Gore.
And today we have a very special guest with us today, who we're going to let him introduce himself now in a minute. But we would just like to say a big, huge thank you to Michael Hennessy, who has travelled a good distance to be with us today. So we really appreciate you giving us this time. Before we get to introduce yourself, what we have done at the beginning of every episode in season 2 is, to make people feel relaxed and for us to feel relaxed. We're just kind of asking people a little icebreaker question. So if you could tell us your favourite song, your favourite band, or a favourite place that you visited.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'll start in reverse. My favourite place I visited is Italy.
Oh,
any part of Italy I've ever visited is my favourite. I love the pizza and the pasta and the ice cream and the wine and the sun.
Lovely.
So anywhere in Italy.
Very good.
Favourite band? I don't know what favourite band, but I'm going to Zach Bryan tomorrow night, or Friday night this week in the Phoenix Park. So I suppose I'll have to make him
top of the list for the moment.
His song Nine Ball is my favourite song at the moment.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Other songs will be favourites at others, but at the moment that's what's been
very good. That's good, thank you. That's a little bit about Michael now that we didn't know. That's great, thanks. And I'm going to hand you over to Claire. She's going to have it. Yeah.
Hello, Michael. Anyway, I'd like to welcome you to.
Thanks, Claire.
Here anyway. So, what is your role in the British Yard Services?
Okay. Well, first of all, Philip, Grace, Claire and Siobhan, thank you for the invitation. I've been hearing great things about the Advocacy Work podcast, so it's a real honour to be here in person.
It's great to have you.
And joining, so thank you for the invite. And after that, I've forgotten the question. Sorry about that. So you asked me to tell a bit about myself.
Yes.
So I suppose I'm the Chief Executive of the Brothers of Charity. That probably means that anything goes wrong, it's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
That really is what it comes down to. We have 5 regions, of which the South East is one, and I suppose I try to keep oversight over the 5 regions. So each of the regions is run by a director of a service. We have Julie Kelly here in the South East, and directors in the other regions, but I try and keep an eye on the overall national picture.
Very good, very good. And you're originally from?
I'm originally from West Cork. I probably lived outside the country for a while. I lived in the UK for a while. I lived in the US for a while. Actually moved back from New Jersey to join the Brothers in 2007.
Okay, very different. Very good. And are you based in Cork or are you based in Galway in our national office?
I'm really based in my car. I've learned to do conference calls and video calls from my car, but my office is in Clarenbridge, and I travel around all of the regions.
Okay.
Often have to spend a lot of time in Dublin because, for better or worse, our funding comes from Dublin, so you have to try and go up and get what you can get. So a lot of travelling.
Okay, very good. But you enjoy. How long have you been the national director then?
I've been since 2019, so that's 6 years.
Okay. That feels like you're here forever, Michael. In a good way. In a good way, I mean that. Yeah. But that's great. So you obviously support Clare or Cork and the Harland then?
I do. Definitely.
Okay, well.
And the football. We're playing Dublin this weekend. I'm going to it.
Oh, very good.
So,
are you more football than hurling?
I personally prefer hurling, but I live in the part of Cork where it's football only. Our local GA club only plays football.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I prefer hurling myself.
Okay, very good. Okay. A bit controversy now. But that's good. So Philip, you have something to ask Michael, haven't you?
How does advocacy fit into the overall plan? The BOCSI, and what is your vision for the future of the budget and charity services?
Okay. 2 big questions there. I'd better try and answer both of them. We've always, going back decades, placed a lot of importance in advocacy. It is a very, very important part of our overall structure. Probably in the early days, we as staff did the advocating ourselves, but that's not really how advocacy should work. Advocacy should always come from the person themselves. The person themselves knows what's important in their life. They're the people who should be speaking up. And also, I think you're far more likely to be listened to when you're telling your own story than having somebody else tell your story for you. So I think we see our role in the organisation as supporting and enabling the advocacy, but we don't do the advocating. The advocates do that for themselves, and that's as it should be. Yeah. And I suppose our vision for that is people speaking up for themselves, and our job is to assist that.
Yeah. Which can be hard at times, can't it?
Can.
As
Can.
you will know, because Siobhan likes to talk. I'm just trying not to talk, is that? Yeah, from a supporter's point of view. But
And we could be doing it for the very best of intentions, speaking up as staff, but it's not the best way. The best way is for people to speak for themselves.
yeah, absolutely. The message is heard a lot clearer.
It is.
Yeah.
I might think I know what Claire wants, or what Grace wants, or what Philip's want, but actually the people who know that better are Claire, Grace and Philip.
Absolutely. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Now, Grace, if you have something to ask Michael.
Yeah, we have spoken a number of times throughout the podcast about the structures for advocacy within the BOCSI. We believe that this is important, that advocacy is not forgotten when at times and other things are seen as more important. How can you, as the National Director, ensure that the voices of people supported by the service are heard?
Okay. Well, I can assure you that it is always and at all times thought to be very, very important. We have fairly well developed advocacy structures because we have advocacy within each local day service or residential, and they'll vote people up to the county or the regional advocacy councils. They then elect on to the National Advocacy Council. We, as a management team, we actually meet the advocates twice a year, usually May and November. But as well as that, we've brought in a rule in the last couple of years that the board of directors, when they go around the country, they do not visit a region, but they must talk to the advocates before the board meeting. So I would think 3 times a year the board of directors meet advocates, and I hope that's our way of making sure that at all times the thoughts of advocates or what advocates are saying are constantly being kept in people's minds. And I'm quite happy to commit that we will keep doing that. That way, at a minimum, we'll meet the National Advocacy twice a year, and at a minimum the board will come out to the regions and meet the advocates in the regions and listen to what they have to say at least 3 times every year, on top of all the other advocacy engagements that are going on.
Which is good. And we've spoken previously about the structures in our service, haven't we? I think it was in our first season, and how well it has been established, and the huge steps forward that we have, in the last 20 years from. So it's great to see that is the commitment, and we are very aware that is the commitment, and it is great. You would have met members of the board over the last number of years, wouldn't you? And told them what we're doing, and so it is a great opportunity for their voices to be heard.
Grace had also asked how we'd make sure things were going to stay that way into the future, and we should never think that we've got perfection and that's it, now we can relax.
No.
Advocacy structures have developed over the years, and we shouldn't think that they will develop. So we should be thinking about some things in the future. Our strategy, which we launched last year, includes a commitment that we will appoint an advocate to the board of directors themselves in their own right. That hasn't happened yet, but over the life of the plan, that's something we're committed to. So we can take that we won't be resting on our laurels on advocacy. There's more progress to be made.
And do you think that there's been big changes in our service in the last number of years?
Yeah.
What kind of things have been different, Philip?
Like before, after all meetings, the advocates never got a chance to meet like Judy Carey and those.
The senior managers.
Now after every meeting we do what I do.
Yeah, because you're the chairperson.
Yeah.
So that sort of things have changed in the southeast.
Yeah, before that we never did.
Yeah, well, we would have maybe not as regular. We would have met them, but maybe not as regular. So things have changed, haven't they? For the positive, though. So. Yeah. And Grace, what do you think that has changed within our service?
I don't know, really. From Tori Luton's and from myself, I actually got really more involved in the advocacy. I'd be shy or ever trying to hide, but I have actually come out as a new person and really enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
That's great to hear, Grace.
Great. Yeah. Advocacy does give people the opportunities to grow and develop, don't they? Yeah. And Claire, have you seen big changes in our service, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Because you've lots of experience from when you were first in the service.
I have. People have more choice now. Sorry, choice, if I can say the word. Because I'm getting married, as you know, fairly soon, actually, in the next few months.
Yes, Claire.
Sometime in October.
Yes, yeah.
Actually, This year.
This year, absolutely. Yeah, the wedding of the year, Claire,
It is.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's like Kate Middleton, William, who? That's what it is now. It's Claire and Robbie, isn't it? It's brilliant, yeah. But do you think that would have happened 20 years ago, Claire?
No.
Yeah, so I think we've seen a big shift in our service, haven't we? In a really positive way, yeah. But as Michael said, we've lots to do. We can't be sitting in the back thinking it's all done and dusted. Everything we kind of move it on, don't we? We have to keep going, don't we?
And it's good to hear that Philip, Grace and Claire think that there has been development, but we need to keep going. There are further improvements yet to be made.
Absolutely.
We'll keep going.
Yes. Oh yeah, Claire, you have another question, Darren.
Yeah, only talking now.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to regional directors and managers when it comes to making sure that advocacy is high on their agenda?
Okay. I suppose a couple of things. We always have to remind ourselves that the organisation was set up, people come into the organisation to serve people with a disability. We're not here for our own business. We're here to help people. So you have to keep that in your mind at all times. And I think the important part is respecting the structures that are there. So where there's a regional advocacy council, they should be meeting them regularly. The director of service should be meeting the chair of the regional advocacy council on a regular basis and listening carefully to what is being said. Sometimes you can't always give something if people are saying, look, we want this, but you have to take every request seriously, and to the extent you can do something about it, you need to do it. And if you can't do something, you need to explain why you can't. Because I think people have a right to know what's happening, and if something isn't happening, why it isn't happening.
Or get someone else to do it.
Or get somebody else to do it if you can.
Yeah, it's good advice, isn't it, Claire?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. That's great. Grace, this is a good question now.
What legacy do you want to leave behind?
I'm not ready to be giving
No, I know.
Am I being fired?
No. No, years and years down the road now, Michael.
Okay.
You know, it's not that.
Well, I hope that I would have brought advocacy up the priority list in my time, because when I came into the job, it was one of the things I thought that while there were good advocacy structures, they needed to move on. And I think the fact that the board is going out, board of directors goes out to the regions, that they are meeting and listening to advocates, that the management team are meeting and listening to advocates, and the seriousness and the priority we give it is something I would hope would be my legacy.
Yeah.
Not quite yet, though.
No, not yet. No. You're not getting any P45 yet. No. But that's I know we don't all think about what our legacy is going to be, but and it's something to think about. It's good though. It's good, I suppose, from a supporter's point of view, Michael, and this is not to give you a big head in any way, but I suppose we've seen that there has been a huge shift in the last number of years in a very positive way when it comes to advocacy. So when we, very much see that, how much you respect the people in our service, and it's so positive to see that. And so I'm not saying that your predecessor was any different, but it just is lovely to see how you do respect the people in our service. So
I'll take that as encouragement to keep going.
Keep going, Michael. Yeah. Don't give up yet. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So have we anything else to ask Michael? I have one last final question, but have we anything else to talk to him about? We have seen great things, haven't we, happen in our service, and I think one of the things that I think in my time in the service that I've seen have been very happy to be part of is the fact that we have people sitting on interview panels.
Yes.
And it has been a huge shift forward in our service, and Philip and Claire do interviews down here in the southeast. Grace is way too busy with her life. She's a busy woman, so someday we'll get her to do interviews, but it has been, and I suppose that's how advocacy works, and that's really, really great. So I have one more question, and we've asked all our anyone who has come to our second season as a guest, and I suppose it's not something that the general population doesn't tend to think about it. I know the people in our service will think about this all the time, because it's a question we ask them all the time. And the question is, what is your most important right?
My most important right? Ooh, funny question, no?
Yeah, I'll give you a second to think about it, because everybody else reacts the same when we ask that question, because it isn't something that we think about ourselves in general. We don't. We know.
You're kind of caught me on the hop, that's not something you think about. What is your most important right?
So we get what? Okay, we'll let you think about it, and we'll get Philip and Grace and Claire to give us your most important right. We'll help Michael along the way this one because it's a hard question.
It is.
What's your most important right, Philip?
Work. You pay for work.
Get paid for work. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's one that's important. What about you, Grace?
I say it was a right to be born free, equal, and respected.
Okay, that's a good one. And what about you?
I'm getting married, sure.
The right to get married.
Yeah.
That's a big one, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. I don't actually know what mine is. I think family would be a big, the right to have a family that would be mine. So
And I was going to say probably the two most important rights that come to mind are the ability to spend time with your family and the ability to be in good health.
yeah,
probably-
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're good, and I suppose they have changed. I know even that's questions we would have spent a lot of the last season talking about your most important rights, but it changes. Education was always very important to you, Philip, and getting paid for work is also very important. So it does change over time.
And your life changes because what's important today, something can change tomorrow.
Absolutely. And we all change. We grow, don't we? We eventually grow up.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that day, but
And you said that.
But so we anything else now while we have Michael here on the hot seat? No? Yeah. Grace, have you anything to ask him?
The barriers.
Oh, the barriers, yeah. Oh, yeah. Grace, I think, has a few other questions, so we won't finish up just right yet.
No, so
Yeah.
I actually wrote my own questions, so I'm going to go with the second one there.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. As director, what policies and guidelines do directors follow?
I suppose there are a couple of important ones. We have finally agreed a national advocacy policy. It took us a long time, but that's a very important one for directors, so that there's no excuse. We have to commit to advocacy in every region. That I would say that's a very important one, Grace.
Thank you.
Yeah, good work. Great question, Grace. And I suppose we spoke about this final question, sorry, Michael, but really around barriers to advocacy that you would see within disability services that wouldn't that may potentially be out of your control. Do you know what I mean? So we thrive within our service sometimes really, really well, as well as we can. But there's potential that there's outside barriers that we don't see as a service
I think
ourselves.
some of the outside barriers is a tendency for other people to speak on behalf of people with disability with nothing but the best of intentions, believing that they're helping, and not having the patience to say stop. Let the person speak for themselves, and if they need support, give them the support instead of speaking up directly, and that might take a bit longer. So maybe people having the patience to give people time to speak for themselves, I think is probably
And then
a barrier.
and then some people actually don't talk at all.
But maybe you need to give them time.
Yeah, some people actually can't.
Okay.
Anyway.
Or
They
people have other ways of
differently.
communicating.
Yeah.
Anybody can communicate that they might need support.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I suppose it's just to highlight the fact that there are barriers that sometimes they're not all Michael Hennessy's fault. Or Siobhan's fault. No. Yeah, or your fault. No, it's not. So there are things that are outside our control sometimes. But yeah, we can just tip away, aren't we?
Yeah.
So Michael, we really do appreciate you coming, because it's been a journey for you to get here. So we really do appreciate it, and we know you're such a busy man. But it really is something that we really have. We're so glad that you gave us the time, and so I'm going to say it's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye for me.
It's a goodbye for me.
And thank you for the invite. Delighted to be here.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael.
Thank you.